big slogan of ours is, what does it look like to make history for our club?
The belief is there. Go and try and get these points and hopefully make the playoff run.
After a thriller in Denver at the highest altitude in NWSL, Dash came back from behind once again to tie for 2-2. And it was a great thriller, better than the first game. It showed a lot of spunk for the team. But the question is, will it continue moving forward? Let's see. Let's go and talk about this again. Once again, welcome back to another edition for the Origin Blueprints podcast. And we'll at Bayou City Soccer Network. I'm your host, Manny Oliveras. We know we're always here. We're always rooting. And we got the boy, the myth, the legend, Lionel Messi. I know, I'm joking.
This dude called me trash, bro. I swear to God. We're 5 seconds in and he's already calling me the most overrated player of all time. Sorry, Chris. I'm kidding. I am kidding. I know Chris is going to yell at me on the Dynamo side of things at Bayou City Soccer. But welcome, everybody, to another week and another episode of Orange and Blueprints. Manny recapped it perfectly. The highest of highs in Denver, and the Dash did not succumb to that altitude pressure as they were showing their clutch genes and a little something new from some of the newcomers of this season. But we'll get to all of that. We'll talk about the game. We'll talk about our takes, and then we'll preview another road game against Louisville this week. Manny, my first question is, how sick are you to not see this Dash team at home?
I'm okay. Reason why I'll give you why, the reason why, everyone, that I'm okay not seeing this, because first we got the fan fest across the street, so traffic and parking lot is a S show, plus you got the Cheestros on the right side that always are full of parking lot because they just like to fill up the parking lot. So I'm glad that Dash is not playing with all those three things combined. So even though I do want to see him in person in live, but I'm just glad for this moment of time they're not here, because imagine having a Dash game this weekend of the final and the fan fest right next door, and I think Astros play at home as well. So I don't want that. I don't want that. Yeah. I do. It's just I do. No, but I think everyone do. But I know Diego missed seeing them in person. I know you do. I know you're craving to get back in the seats.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I mean, I'm in Houston very few times. I'm grateful enough to spend this entire summer here, and so it's been a little bit of a shame to have to see them on the screen, because that's, I mean, normally how I see them every given year when I'm up in New York. Speaking of New York, for those who are paying attention to the NWSL, as of late, they are currently participating in the Queens Classic against Washington Spirit. I've got the game on, so I will give you periodic updates if anything happens, because we know we are bleeding blue and orange and blue prints in this podcast, but we would be missing out if we weren't talking a little bit around the league. So I will give you plenty of updates for that, as Manny gives you updates to every single World Cup game, even though that doesn't matter at all. Because there's only one league that really matters, and that is the NWSL. But yeah, I think also the reason why I'm kind of like sad to see this Dash team have to, go on the road so often is because they had a positive result against Denver, something that we're just about to talk about. And I think with that positive result, I think it overshadows the fact that we've only seen the Dash get one road win this entire season.
Hmm.
And I think that's just a struggle. It's been a struggle. We've seen this Dash team really, I would label excel at home, and that one little hiccup was that 4-1 Denver loss, and that got fixed. That got fixed by a great performance in this past weekend's game, and so I think I mean, just to see the Dash back at home would be kind of unbelievable to see and be back in that environment.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. It's just to see how it goes. But I think just recapping the game before we talk more about it, it was a really, really back and forth game. Uh, uh, First, off the bat, I think both teams were neck and neck. Denver had a little bit of the momentum, of course, and then within the 14th minute, former Houston Dash Yasmin Ryan scored a screamer against I think it was just a crowded uh 18-yard box, and it just
Yeah.
went through everyone and went through Jane, and she celebrated like if she won the World Cup. And so that was pretty much like yeah. And but within like not even a minute later, Linda Olmark sends a through pass to Kay Raider, and it was boom, 1-1 immediately. And then of course, right before the halftime, Kate Harden fouls in the penalty box, and then Janice Solness scored the 2-1 for before going in the break. And after that, literally the stroke of second half, Maggie Graham sends a through ball to Linda Olmark, and that was pretty much it. And I feel like after that, Denver tried to get more of the game. Jane came up with unbelievable stops, and it kept the game 2-2. Um, I know before we record, I know me and Diego were laughing that like Janice Sonis, I feel like every time she faces the dash, even though she was a former dash, I feel like every time she faces the dash, she is the player of the match, and she was with that assist with Ryan, that penalty shot as well. So I think it was just laugh about that. But I just there's a quite a couple of notes with this lineup as well. There was no Avery Patterson because of the accumulation of yellow cards. So Kate Harden had to fill in that fullback spot. I feel like she did other because I think it was just because of the penalty, and also we saw a little bit more of Kiki instead of playing not just the first half but a whole 60 minutes, a little bit more than she did, and so it was pretty much that. Um, and then of course we had a little bit of a just to see how the team is going moving forward. But I felt Maggie Graham on this game had a more better outlook and more better output in the game. I don't know if it was the way Denver was setting up or how Maggie Graham was asked for this game, but she was getting open and having a lot of spaces on the wing. So that was about four. How do you see about the game overall, the game, and how Fabrice set up the team for this game?
No, I think it was probably the Dash's most direct game offensively. You could very clearly tell like the strategy was play direct, play forward, find those open runs, and kind of commit to them. You saw that with the first goal where Maggie really charged forward into creating a space on the wing, and then got the ball, and then was able to kind of put it in the central box. And Linda took that awkward touch to looking to get that shot, but not really quite catching it on her front foot, and then it gently is placed to the one, the only Cat Raider, who Cat Raider will bury those chances. And it's just another opportunity for her to display what she's been displaying all season, and that's that she wants that Rookie of the Year. She wants that recognition, and she wants to continue to play better and better. And then they were down the first moment of the game because of that Yasmin Ryan. They responded with that Maggie Graham assist, and then Kate Harden. I mean, Kate Harden is. I think I felt Like a lot of people could see her performance as poor because of the penalty and a couple of opportunities that, it just seemed like she was beat on that wing. I don't think she was necessarily the worst player on the field, to be completely honest. Yes, obviously conceding a penalty, and obviously, you know, lasting the entirety of that, of before the subs came in, and in the latter half of the second, I think she was, really doing the best she could, filling in for a spot that, was dominated by Avery Patterson. And I think that tells kind of the full picture of this. I don't think she was really ever expected to be Avery Patterson, but I think the pressure really was on her to be Avery Patterson in this game, which, again, it's going to be hard to do because you're talking about replacing a NWSL best 11 player. In terms of what you said about Maggie Graham, I mean, Maggie Graham is that player. Maggie Graham is her. She has been time and time again the player that has not just saved the Dash, whether it be that Angel City FC goal late in the game, but also in opportunities like this where she notches 2 assists. That pass to Linda Olmark in the first goal that, was maybe not credited to her because of that Olmark touch. And then the second, talk about Linda, she gets her first goal of her NWSL campaign and of her professional campaign as a player. You love to see it. You love to see it. You saw Kate Fossey be dangerous. You saw Kat Rader be dangerous. You saw Kiki be dangerous. This is a Dash team that looked night and day offensively. You were thinking this Dash team would maybe have 2 or 3 opportunities, but really be benefiting through slow buildup and counterattacks. But no, this was a direct, pacey team that really, pushed the ball forward really quickly and looked for those direct runs. And I think that's a great recipe for this team. It showed. It showed against a really strong Denver team. I mean, this is the Denver team that beat you at home 4-1. And you respond by grabbing a point, one of the toughest places to play. I mean, the altitude is one of one, and it's the club's first ever time playing there. To get a result is great. It's fantastic. And then you have another opportunity here against Louisville away to get another batch of points. Louisville's the worst team in the league. Yes, I understand that we as people who look at the Dash say, hey, Louisville's the worst team in the league. And then you go into a 4-3 goal fest, as that's Manny's favorite word, and barely sneak out of there with 3 points thanks to a Sarah Putney penalty in the 97th minute. You were there. I was there. Like that was Hollywood. It was so Hollywood that even people from Washington D.C. came to that game, I was told. But yet, you have another opportunity now to go to Lynn Family Stadium and say, hey, we just picked up a tough result in Denver, and now we want 3 points. That's 4 points in 2 games. And that's where you're really building that momentum and you're really building those opportunities. Because you look at the performances, the performance at Washington was really strong. I think we can argue that. It's just, about that game management. And I think taking that and then doing what you did in Denver, that's exactly what the Dash, are dreaming to be in. I mean, it's unbelievable to see that. It just speaks to how good of a coach Fabrice has been, in my opinion, how good of a team this has been. You could label this team as inexperienced, poor game management, whatever you want to label it as, but they just keep getting better. They just keep getting better and better. And I think that's really the display that we've seen from this Dash side in that Denver game.
Yeah, so I do agree with you on that. It's really good to see how this team is developing and still going, keeping on with this game. I do want to mention that Kat Rader is tied for 6th place for the Golden Boot for the NWSL. So still not far off. Of course, Barbara Banda is running away with it at the moment, but uh, still a good feat for someone at 5th for 5 goals for the season for us. Kat Rader is doing. I think I think for her to be running in for the Golden Boot, I think she is. I think probably a shoe in for the Rookie of the Year at the moment. I think you just want to mention a little bit more about the mindset of the team. I think going 2 goals down each time, uh, you know, you know,
Manny, I hate to interrupt you, but we are witnessing history here.
what's up?
Gotham FC have now made the substitution to bring in number 20, Sam Kerr. She returns to the NWSL. Everyone seems pretty hyped in City Field, and that's an update that I felt worthy to say. Sam Kerr, welcome back to the NWSL. That's a player. To quick foreshadowing before I get back to you, Manny. Apologize for
No, it's
interrupting.
good. No, it's good to see that she's back.
We will see her play in Houston in just a couple weeks. So stay tuned, Dash fans. But yeah, Manny, you were talking after I rudely
Yeah,
interrupted you.
no, it was good. It was good. No, it was just mentioning just about that, about how they are. Uh, I think it's just the mindset of coming back. I think previous dad teams are just. I think after coming back for the one to tie 1-1, and again, right before halftime to go behind again, it's like very hard for them to score goals, and it's like this dash team is very very has a hard mindset to get the get a result or get the extra goal to tie it up or to win, like the last time against what we were mentioned about Racing Louisville to get that last penalty shot. So it was really much really good to see the mindset, the hustle that these players are doing as well. I think the not to mention is not to forget about Jane's performance. Another stellar performance by Jane. Jane made a couple of good saves, wonderful saves that kept the dash in, especially in the second half.
That
So I
last
think,
that last minute save kept them within a point. A phenomenal performance by Jane.
yeah. So I think just seeing that hustle, not only just offensively but also defensively, I think it's a good thing to see. But I really like it. I really like how the team is going. That I just need a little bit more. Of course, we haven't seen the new striker yet. So we haven't seen her play at the moment. So hopefully she gets incorporated soon and see how it goes with that. But I think just the result itself is really great. It's really motivating. Like you said, even though they play good against the Spirit, but they didn't get a result because of Trinity Rodman and what Trinity Rodman does. And then of course this game as well, really good despite the altitude, despite traveling. Like I said, coming to Houston and traveling out for almost now 3 weeks in a row. It's a good determination that this team is moving forward despite that obstacle, you would say. But
Mhm.
I think that's pretty much how this team's going, and right now they're not too back in the table. They're right now 13th place, so they're still at least 5 points away from the last playoff position. So it's really good to see that they keep going and moving on, moving forward. Now, going on to this weekend's game, Racing Louisville at Lynn Family Stadium in Louisville, Kentucky. Last time, like we mentioned, it was a goal fest, a 4-3 uh, against Louisville. I think that was the last time that Louisville was actually competitive
Mhm.
in a game, because I feel like afterwards their season just very very well. Of course, they got that win against Orlando Pride, but after that, it was just downhill from there. Downhill
Mhm.
from there. I think every game since then is very downhill. Of course, they got the 3-1 win against Portland, but every game after that was pretty much a heavy sided after that. So of course, this game doesn't have without any drama of it, because still the future of their star player
Emma
Emma
Sears.
Sears uh, is still, I think, still up in the air, because literally about a week before the end of the start, she requested a trade. to be transferred away. Still, no updates on that. That we have known any. I know teams were looking into it, but currently at the moment, look like I don't think Racing Louisville is looking to entertain any offers at the moment. So so we'll see how that. You think that will affect their I know it did. Of course, it's kind of hard to say. Like, did it affect their performance last game because they still lost to Bay FC last game, but in the game before against Portland.
Yeah,
So it's very very hard to see. Like, does that hinder you? Like, knowing that your star player wants to leave the club.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it just shows lack of confidence within the squad. I think. Um, yeah, I mean, Emma Sears, one of the top players in the NWSL, and it's unfortunate to be stuck in the bottom slot of the NWSL table, but I think you know you look at a player like her and you're thinking to yourself, this is a player that should be competing in the playoffs, should be competing for silverware, and I think um, as of now, I don't see that happening in Louisville. But yeah, when your best player is requesting a trade, that just that from my perspective, that just sounds like the season's kind of given up on. Um,
Mhm.
from that perspective of just like you're expecting your star to be a leader, to be really the vocal point, the person who really is supposed to like pick up heads and to kind of like motivate and so when she requests a trade, that I feel like it sets a precedent of what is going on within that organization. I mean, there was promise. There was a lot of promise. I remember when it was earlier in the season, Houston was off to the best start in their club history, and then Louisville came in, a little rocky, but they were showing some signs of danger. And I think I don't really think they've reached that many highs ever since their win against the Pride, and I think this is fundamentally a different Louisville team than we played.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I mean, Sears was very pivotal in that game against Houston, and I think, yeah, there's a very solid chance that she might be pivotal again, but it will just be different now that we know that there is like an incentive to leave because we know we. Sorry, I just the broadcast showed Guru Rayton being like completely side eyeing the ref cam. So she was just like right here and doing this. It was the weirdest sight. I just saw it in my peripherals and I was just like, what is going on? But yeah, it's obviously going to change the dynamic when you know that like your best player is going to leave. I I just think yeah, that investment is not going to be there. I think so. I think this is going to be like a significantly weaker team.
Yeah, I think it's as well. I think it's a hard year already for Louisville with the injuries to a lot of players. Of course, uh, not to poke on any details, but there's still unknowns with Savannah DeMello. As last year she had another cardiac issue playing, and she hasn't featured any game for this season. So most likely, I think the writing's on the wall for her that she might, you know, I think it's sad to say, but retire. I think for the better of her health
Hmm.
and her life. But of course, it's no official, but it looks that way with no return date outside for her. So of course, you that's one of your her and Demelo and Emma Sears is like one of your key players, and
Hmm.
so losing one already, and now with a laundry list of injuries, like and also maternity leave, like Marissa DeGrande, so on maternity leave, so it's like you have missing a lot of, I think a lot of players in the midfield and everything. So it's like very, very you're slipping Pickens, and you think, well, Beverly Jans, she was the NWSL Coach of the Year last year. You think she will do it? I think it's what she's the situation right now. It's very, very, hard to see where, you know, how much where, a whole, the light of the tunnel is. So very much that. So, and I think the only players you rely on is Taylor Taylor Flint, and what was the other one I saw? Oh yeah, Kayla Fisher. So basically, those are the two players that are pretty much carrying the team, other than Emma Sears. So it's pretty much them. If they don't show up, basically the team doesn't show up. So, and that's pretty much it. So it's very very hard to see how this team goes, and the way just how they play. They could be rough, they could be on your face, but they're not really getting points. So I think if the Houston Dash can come in like they did this past weekend or the weekend against Washington, I can still see for sure that the Dash will get 3 points for this game on
Mhm.
this. I think is it me to be harsh right now? I think because we're in the second half of the season. If the Houston Dash doesn't get 3 points for against this real Racing Louisville side, uh, would that be a blow for them for playoff position?
No, absolutely, because I mean, at this stage of the season, you're kind of pushing the tide into the second half of the season. You're kind of, I think, at that halfway point. And you're
Trying to
looking
separate
at
stuff.
and you're looking at it and you're thinking, well, this is on paper the easiest game of your schedule. I understand. Everyone understands. Everyone on that team understands that there are no easy wins in the NWSL. That's just the truth. There
Yeah,
are no easy wins in this league, and yet you're still asking yourself the question of, in the event, not even assuming you drop points, but you don't get any at all, where are you going to get those points? You got to get them against the Gotham. You got to get them against, you know, an Orlando. And that's tough to do. That's
yeah,
tough to do. And so I think you have to look at this game as an opportunity to get 3 points and an opportunity to keep pushing forward, because gonna be even harder as the season goes on to kind of like take those hits and then have to recoup those points somewhere. And so I think, yeah, is it an opportunity to drop points? Yes, you'll be fine, I think, if you drop points at this stage. But I also think it's a great opportunity to for the Dash to push themselves ahead and to kind of continue that momentum, because then you've got Bay FC with Jordan Silkowitz, and I've gone a billion times to say that Jordan Silkowitz is one of, if not the best goalkeeper in the NWSL. I'm still thinking, Jane Campbell being number one, but that's a tough ask, especially because of how well they've been playing as of late. And then you've got Gotham with Sam Kerr. So I think this schedule is going to get harder and harder and harder.
hmm
Now your question is, what are we going to do as the Dash to make the most out of that schedule? Because you get the three easy points against Louisville. You come
hmm
home, AFC. That's a winnable game. That's a hard game, but that's winnable.
hmm
And then you've got Gotham, which is a little more complicated, and then you've got KC. That's another tough one. So you kind of start to like ask yourself, how are the Dash really going to maximize this stretch of games? Because
yeah,
there is a possibility it just not go the Dash's way.
hmm
Well, the way that you can prevent that is by saying, hey, let's get the 3 points, let's get this momentum going onward and onward and onward and onward, to maybe get that one result, that two results, maybe even all three results against really tough teams. And then at that point, you're well in between into the playoff line.
yeah. I think so too. I think this is the point of the season that not saying dropping 3 points is it's crucial now, but I think you're part of the season that you're trying to separate yourself from the bottom of the table to the top of the table, and you want to get the 3 points to, of course, help you with a playoff push, but also want to separate that, separate that you are better than the bottom of the table. And so right now, I think this is a crucial point for the season for the Houston Dash to get 3 points and continue moving forward. And so I know, like you said, the schedule doesn't get easier. It's never easy in the USL, but there's this, just try to get, if you see a team that struggling, you want to take advantage of it, because technically the easy teams are right now. You have the two easy teams, which is Racing Louisville, Bay FC, and of course you're missing the Chicago Stars that will face in the midweek in August. So it's really up to see how they react and they move forward. But time for predictions.
My favorite time. Just kidding. It's not. Give me 2-0 in favor of your Houston Dash. Let me get a clean sheet for Jane. I think Jane's been phenomenal. And I think let me see the goal scorers. Cat Raider's gonna get another one. I think her run's been incredible. And I think Maggie Graham has been an unbelievable player, and I think she's gonna get rewarded for that with a handy dandy goal to add to her tally. So 2-0. That's my prediction.
I bet. I do see a 3-0.
Okay, so you see goal fest.
I see goal fest. I see a brace for Cat Raider, and I do see a goal for Kiki Van Santen to get her back.
Kiki, a player that was hungry to get a goal against Denver. Really hungry player to get that goal against Denver, and hopefully she does get rewarded against Racing Louisville.
Yeah, she looked great. She looked great. Just couldn't get a shot. She had so many chances. She had, I think, in the second half, she had two clear chances that could have led the Dash won the game. So, but that was pretty much it of the predictions for today. So, before we head off, we want to get one more prediction for Diego. Who's gonna win the World Cup? You got Spain.
Spain 3, Argentina 0. I want Argentina to lose so badly. Oh my gosh, I am sick of it. I don't care. Chris, hate on me all you want. It's super valid, to be honest. Like, feel free. Like, I know Argentina, once they win, I'm gonna get so many texts about this, and that's perfectly okay. But I just cannot
get an Argentina 4-star jersey.
I cannot not. I can't do this. I can't. Spain 3, Argentina 0. I'm done with it. Moment Mexico lost, I was just like, I'm done with it.
Dang.
What's your prediction?
2-1.
Okay. In favor of who?
Argentina 2, Barcelona 1.
Barca. Well, that's a fun prediction, I guess.
Everyone's on a Yamal train, so I want that Yamal Messi to show. Nah, there's only one train.
All right.
Nah, but I think it's gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna be just like we saw today. 1-1 until the second half. Well, the second half, like Argentina comes with a comeback. I feel like the Spain will dominate like the England did in the first half. They dominate, and Argentina just love to suck it in and hold back until the second half. Suck up the pressure, man.
All right. Pause.
But like to suck out the pressure. They do. Have you seen this game? Just like
okay. No. But you have not seen Spain be. It's like 10 times more technical and better on the ball than England have ever been.
The problem with Spain is that the lineup keeps changing so much. So you don't know what.
Because Luis de la Fuente knows how to coach.
Also, Scaloni has to know how to coach too.
Yeah, but Scaloni has played against literally either teams that are not nearly as good as Argentina, or England with a coach that made all the terrible decisions.
Hey, but Joey said Tuchel was the best coach in the World Cup.
I do
So
not agree with Joe.
so that's
The
my take
best
for you,
coach in the World Cup was 100% Aguirre for Mexico.
Ancelotti.
Absolutely not. Now this is just a World Cup podcast. This is what Manny
Hmm.
really wanted.
Yeah, nah, it's good. Nah, it's good. It's good. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how this game goes on Saturday, but also the game on Sunday. I know as it wraps up, all the fan fest stuff is going down. If you're looking for World Cup gear, go to Rally House. They're having for 50% off. So that's
Actually,
why
no, no,
that's why I
we're
got
not.
my gear.
We're not sponsored by them, right?
Nah, man, we're not sponsored. I'm just giving everyone the heads up.
Okay, we're
Yeah,
not sponsored by them, but please sponsor us.
Hey, try to help the people, man. Man, all these FIFA merch was so expensive. Hey,
Yeah,
Rally House is hooking up with 50% off,
hell
so
yeah.
get it while it's hot. But thank you for all for coming in again once again to another edition for the Origin Blueprints and the Bayou City Soccer Podcast. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Ugly Guppy, Lotus Bravos, and We Got Soccer for always sponsoring us and always looking for us as well. But also, look out for uh, our website, biocitysoccer.net, or our social media, BioCity Soccer, or on Instagram, Twitter, X, YouTube, Threads, Blue Sky, everywhere else that you see our social media. But hope you once again. We'll see you next week we'll see how the team lines up. Hopefully, to get a win and climb up the table. But if not, Diego, any last words?
No, just that. If I read correctly, that this Queens Classic is now the third most attended game in NWSL history.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, but thank y'all for watching. It's been dope. I wish I had more updates on that game, but I am certainly happy to have given you a bunch of takes about all things Dash, and hopefully we will see Houston get another result in Louisville.
All right. See y'all guys here, and hope to see y'all next week.